Right, well, I shall begin this sweet state. So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sweet State number 35. For those who don't know what the Sweet State is, it's essentially a monthly, sort of like a vlog series that I do once a month, that I've done for the last 35 months. Where I basically talk about the state of the channel and anything that's going on, and basically giving an update as to how things are going in the world of John Suitepee. Partly for the benefit of myself and partly for the benefit of my audience, so they kind of know what I'm feeling and planning, etc., etc. So with that aside, we transition to a guy wearing a gym shirt because, I'm going to the gym later, so I'm wearing something a little different. It's designed to absorb all the sweat I'll be having to endure for my workout a little later. Got quite a busy day today, actually. I've already done something quite fun earlier, which I'll talk about shortly. This Sweets Day, I say this with all seriousness, will probably be one of the shorter ones, because I really do have to get going at about 3 o'clock today, so I got things to do. So this will probably be one of the shorter Sweet States, so we'll see if I can stick to that, or if this ends up going for 2.5 hours. Only time will tell, I suppose. Excuse me. So, because there's not really that much to talk about this time. There's a few things coming up that are kind of interesting, but there's not a whole lot that's changed since the last month. It's been kind of getting back to normal in a sense, in all aspects. Hey, Robot Fellows, how are you doing this afternoon? Glad you can be up for the Sweet State. So in terms of the personal situation, which is how I start all these Sweet States, things are going okay. I've got a half term this week, so that's why I'm not at work, where I would normally be at my job right now. Heading into the last term of the academic year. And the end of my contract. At the same time, I have a week off, then 6 weeks of work, and then it's the summer break, and my contract expires at the end of the 6 weeks. So the main thing I'll be hoping to secure for the next in the next 7 weeks is a job, obviously, and hopefully we can start those contract negotiations or whatever the hell needs to happen as soon as possible. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be able to stay with the current school that I'm at, because I like the place, it's a good place to work, and I want to stay there and continue to work in that facility. However, if it turns out they can't afford, or for whatever reason don't wish to keep me on, I need to find that out as soon as possible so I can start looking for a job in the next 7 weeks. Because the last thing I want to be doing is, over the summer period, when I'm meant to be relaxing and playing Final Fantasy IX, hopefully, is fucking panicking and going back to the pandemic state of having to search for a job every fucking day, which is the worst thing possible and not good for my mental health. Or anyone's, really. I've spent too many times job hunting, and I fucking hate it. I don't want to have to deal with it anymore if possible. So fingers crossed I get the job. At least, even if it's just another year. I think schools do it where they renew contracts not long term, but for every year. So I'm fine with that as long as they have room for me in their plans. I'm more than happy to give them another year, and then they can give me some proper training this time, because I haven't had any, really. But that's because of the pandemic, of course. So, hopefully I will have a job. And hopefully I'll be able to report on the success of that in the next Sweet State, or the one after, depending on what and when they choose to do that. I don't know how it works. I'm not used to being on a contract that is a year-by-year basis. I'm used to being in a job where you just have the job until you get fired, or you leave, or whatever. So interesting times ahead. And also, of course, the continued easing of restrictions from... We did have the next set of freedoms in May, theory at least, we're supposed to have the final removal of restrictions on the 21st of June, which is starting to look unlikely to happen because scientists are worried that we might be in the middle of a third wave. So we'll have to see what evidence comes out of that in the next few weeks. So we might have to delay the date. It'll be fun to see how that plays out. Of course, I mean, a lot of businesses and a lot of things are waiting for the complete removal of restrictions before they can actually get back to work and do what they need to do. But obviously, the last thing we want to do is rush back to recovery and then have another wave and be right back where we started, where we have rising cases and then the lockdowns return, yada, 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 yada. So we'll see. I mean, in terms of that, I am hoping that the 21st of June will be the date. But if it's not, then I won't be too bothered as long as they don't start locking us down and shutting things off again. Because most of the stuff that I want to be open is open. At least I can get a haircut. I can go to a pub. I actually did that last week, where I went. Well, last weekend I should say. I went into a pub for the first time since November, and watched a football game or two, and it was really nice to be able to go out and socialise like that again. I hadn't done that in months, and it felt pretty darn good to be able to go out. I mean, the one thing I am missing, though, is the live poker games, and unfortunately they're not coming back until the restrictions are gone, at least the ones, my locals. One of the tournament directors is waiting for the complete removal of restrictions so we can get back to how we were, and the other one is, I think, doing theirs online until the end of the season, and then they're going to do a live one, and I think they're waiting for the restrictions to fuck off as well. So I would really like to start doing that again. Hey Astronamar, good morning to you as well, and welcome to the Sweet State, my monthly series where I talk about the state of the channel. So you might have seen this before. So I have started playing poker again. I also mentioned it. I have actually started playing a tiny bit of poker on Poker Stars. Just a little bit of practice for now. Although I have deposited a bit of real money. Oh, that's what I wanted to mention as well, actually. One of the points. Let's take a quick note of that. Just for the point I need to mention. So I have actually started getting ready for the return of live poker, and that's one of the avenues I have for socializing, and that's what I enjoy doing, and getting back into practicing it a little bit, because I haven't really played it for months. I mean, I haven't played a proper game of it, excluding the Poker Night at the Inventory on my Steam, which I played for a little bit and I beat it and I stopped. I haven't actually played live poker since March of last year, and I enjoyed going out for those sessions. It was good times, playing poker, there's a football game on, talking with people. It's all good fun, And I have to wait for the restrictions to completely disappear to be able to get access to it again, it seems. So I'm really hoping the 21st sticks, but it'll depend on everyone vaccinating, which I think people are finally realizing they should probably just fucking get vaccinated and get it over with, because it don't cost a thing, doesn't cause any real harm, and it will keep us all safe, and then we can get back to normal and get back to, I can't wait until I no longer have to do 2 tests a week, until I can get rid of the mask, until I can just do all the things I used to be able to do at the beginning of last year. It's going to be a great sort of optimistic boom as soon as those final restrictions fade away. You're going to see like a great triumph in society for a little bit. It will be nice to bask in that glow, even if it just lasts a week. But yeah, and that's about it for my personal spot, really. I'm still plodding along, and hopefully things are going to turn out pretty good. Now, in regards to playing poker again, I have made, as I said, I have made and deposited £30 in about $40 into a PokerStars account, and I have been contemplating, and I think one or two people are interested in seeing this at least once, if nothing else. I am contemplating doing a poker stream at some point in the near future for like a real money game or something, to get a bit of practice in ahead of the return of live poker in the pubs, and just for a bit of fun and variety's sake. I don't know how many of you would be interested in a poker stream, but it's something I think I was flirting with doing a few years back when I was still into it back then, and it's something I am thinking of doing now. I'm not a very good player, but I think it'd be interesting to stream it at least once and see what people think of it. So let me know in the comments or however as to whether or not you'd want to see me play poker or not on PokerStars. I even have a very good avatar prepared. A very good avatar prepared. Should that become a thing. So there's nothing definitive on that. I might change my mind and decide not to, but it's just a thought that I have that I might do at least one poker stream one evening for some real money games. So there's some stakes to it. Not a very high dollar game. It's like micro stakes, less than $5, because I don't have a lot deposited. I need to build up my bankroll, but I just thought that might be something you might want to see. You can let me know right now if you're in the chat and you have any thoughts on that. Those who are here in the here and now. Would you want to see John Suitepee play poker? Let me know. Alright, so moving on. I did say it was going to be one of the shorter sweet states. It's time for... But no, not that. It's not time for that. It is time for something else. Oh god, where is it? Oh, that's it. It's a title card photo, of course. Whoa, I need to minimize that a bit. Okay. So, it is time for the Uncle Bowl update. Dun 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 dun. Your Uncle Bowl 2021 update. In the ongoing Doomworld Ironman League rivalry between myself and fellow British uncle Ian Mutt. So, as it stood yesterday, on the last day, on the bank holiday Monday of May, the score was 3-1 in favour of the dog, going into playing violence. And Mutt did his run on the Friday night, and I was fully expecting to have to do a speed run, because it wasn't a hard map set, so I expected Mutt to get through it and then force me to play very quickly and have to beat his time on speed, which would be a difficult endeavour. But Mutt screwed up on map 4 and died, thus giving me the opportunity to beat violence without having to rush. And so on yesterday evening, after a practice run to make sure there were no screw-ups, I managed to go through the whole of violence and survived in a time of 51 minutes something. Oh wait, I have it here. 51 minutes and 56 seconds. So just shy of 52 minutes. But I did it. I survived violence in its entirety. I beat Mutt this month, and thus the score of the the Uncle Bowl, is now only 3-2 in favour of Ian Mutt. So I've pegged back the deficit to 1 once again. I'd actually like to take the lead in this competition at some point if possible, but we'll see. So it remains tight and ensures that the competition will be going on for at least another 4 months. going into autumn. So, no quick and easy victories for Mutt at this point. Excuse me. So, with that in mind, it is now June. It is now the new Ironman League. And wouldn't you know it, I'm hosting the Ironman League for June. That it is my turn. It was supposed to be my turn last month, actually, but I was a bit busy and didn't have anything ready in time. But, oh boy, I've made up for it in this month. Ho, 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 ho. I'm running the Ironman League for June, which means I will be having to look through people's demos, writing hilarious obituaries, and placing them and ranking them in the thread. So I'm going to be quite busy keeping an eye on that for the entire month. Bit of extra work for me to do, but shouldn't be too taxing, I hope. And so with that, I have chosen the perfect WOD for this once in a maybe lifetime opportunity. And thus I have chosen this to be the WOD for June. Now, you might recognize the name of the WODs. You might recognize what it is. It should be very familiar to pretty much any regular of this channel, because I have requested my own map as the Ironman pick for this month. It's the secret playtesting session that none of you expected. Hey, Jevic64MR, how you doing? Nice map. Oh, well, thank you. So, yeah, Firebox is this month's pick, and Firebox was indeed created by me in the month of November and December, and a bit of fine-tuning work in January of this year. And I decided, since this is an opportunity I may not get ever again, screw it. I'll put Firebox up. I had a couple of other ideas. I was contemplating going down. I was contemplating Memento Mori, actually, as a classic one. But I decided that the temptation to put my own map out there was just far too hard to resist. And in the end, I gave in. And now everyone's going to play my map and an Ironman. But I've also added the stipulation that it's also going to be based on a percentage of killing. So yeah, not only do you have to beat the map, you have to kill everything in it in as fast as time as possible. I've incorporated the same rule that was used in previous Ironmans of Disturbia by Death Destiny and Jade Earth, where not only do you have to beat the map as fast as possible, but you have to get the highest percentage of kills as well. So, and that's mostly because you could speedrun Firebox in a couple of minutes, and I wanted to add the extra challenge of killing stuff as well. So, thought I'd make it fun. And so that is going to be the stakes for this month's Ironman League. You must play my map, and you must beat it on Ultraviolence and kill everything. It's going to be fun, It's going to be fun to have to play my own map to get an Uncle Bowl point. And I'm sure out there right now, the sound of A.N. Mutt going, "Bullshit," can be heard. Well, fear not, for my map is not very easy, even to me. And I will probably die on it anyway, because it can be quite brutal in in that finale. So, yeah, that's what's going to happen. I'm running the league and I've picked my own map. I thought it'd be fun. I honestly think it'll be a decent pick. I mean, I wanted to pick something a bit more trickier than Violence, and I just thought, well, Firebox is trickier. And there's also the curiosity that no one in the history of any Ironman contest has actually submitted their own map set for the entry. So I really am curious to see if Firebox is a good Ironman pick or not. It'll be an interesting month, I think, of submissions. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to see how people do. It's not the easiest map. It's definitely not forgiving for blind players. I would probably recommend, if you're going to play it, do not play it blind unless your name is Foreshock. You need to be quite good at slaughter encounters to actually get through it. So, I will be going first as well this month since I won. So I have to set the target for Mutt. And hopefully, the fact that I play tested this thing means I should be able to set Mutt a nice, hard target to beat. But we will see. I'm actually tempted to maybe give a quick rundown of the map, maybe. Just a quick sort of playthrough, just to give you a preview what you're in for. Or maybe I shouldn't bother. Let people find out for themselves. I mean, most of you will probably know what it is about anyway. So... Because I was actually tempted to just sort of do a video going through the map to give new players a bit of an idea what they're in for in terms of what to expect. But I actually kind of would like to just see what happens when blind people play it. For blind runs, I mean. So, I don't think I'll do that. I think I'll just let people discover it on their own if they want to. I have given a warning in the thread, but it might not be the kindest to blind run players. You know, but it will actually be quite tricky. So, you know, we've got our fair warning. I want to see what happens. I genuinely am curious, and I genuinely do think it's a good pick. And, you know, let's find out. And of course, the Uncle Bo will be determined on it. Can I beat my own map? Comes to mind. I think there'll be a fair bit of hype for it, I hope. Fingers crossed. It'll be a good pick. And if not, you know, well, at least I tried. At least I tried. So, there is that sort of thing. Actually, I think I might just go for it real quick. Let me just see, do I have it up here? I might just go for it real quick just to refresh myself on the map. I could do this because essentially for this Iron Man, I am category 4. I made it and I've played it so many times I know the entire map off the back of my head. So it's not like I'm gonna be able to. I can't say I'm playing it blind or anything. You know, so let's just put you there and get rid of that for a minute. And hopefully this will appear. Oh yeah, I didn't say. Hey, Kraja. Morning to you as well. Okay, there we go. It's going okay. So I'm very briefly gonna run through my own map again just to see. Guess I'll leave that there. Still will. This map looks familiar. Yeah, I'm doing this because as I'm the Ironman League host for June, I've chosen my own map to be the to be the thing. So I'm just very quickly going through it. I actually played it this morning and did actually die on the. I did actually die on the finale because it's just so brutal. You know, I think the finale is going to kill a lot of people. Like, the first part's not too bad. would laugh right now if I actually just beat the map set in this practice session and then I can just submit my own entry. Give them an entire month of practice to play with. That would be like the most stupid thing ever. Oh yeah, here's my run for the Ironman. Done on day 1. Have fun! That's not gonna happen though. The finale's gonna kill me. I don't know how I'm gonna have to practice my own finale to death. Have I ever thought about running my own community project? No. The truth is, Kraja, I haven't. I much prefer to play maps rather than actually make them. That still stands the truth now. I mean, I did enjoy making this map. And if I do play, if I do take part in the Maximum project, I will probably enjoy that as well. But, yeah, this trap is definitely not blind. You have to know what to do here. I don't even know where the last option is. Oh no, he's in the worst possible spot, right in the middle. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is very, very bad. Right in the middle there. Oh, I don't like this at all. And I died. Yeah, first time I did that earlier today, I actually, did, beat it, just. But, you know, it's still hard to get through. Like, I guarantee you that trap right there will kill a lot of people who play blind. Unless they're really good at assessing a slaughter situation very quickly. Sorry, I'll just read that again. Oh, I don't mean making them. You could be the host and you get a bunch of people with a... that might be something that's something I might consider doing in the future, Roger. I don't know what I want to set as a theme, though. Honestly. That would depend. Hey, G411, how's it going? I mean, just to clarify, if you're watching this or anyone, that death in that revenant room right there is a reason why I don't really have an advantage as big as you'd think in picking my own map. Because my own map has 2 fights that are quite difficult. I could die to. I am gonna have to practice this. And honestly, if you're playing it for this month, I recommend anyone else do the same. It's his first dog that's playing it. I mean, the only project I would have liked to have done in the past was a project where no one was allowed to use revenants, but that's a really boring project idea. And I no longer really agree with it, so... just be... I mean, if I wanted to run a community project, there is one thing I'd like to have arranged. There is one thing I'd have liked to have seen, although it's a bit weird. Yeah, so the idea A good strategy for that is basically run into the corner where one of them is, push up to the second one, then rotate around the circle strafe arena, and hopefully you'll catch the other two vials stuck at the back with any luck. Because all these revs aren't really that hard to dodge. You know, once this wears down a bit, it's not too difficult. It is essentially just a circle strafe fight, but it's because of the time pressure of the vials that makes it difficult. One Revenant. Oh, don't forget the SSG secret. That wasn't the smartest idea. Yeah, like, if I had one project I'd like to run, I'd love to see a project where people have to make maps based off Asian horror movies. I think that'd be cool. Now for the part that really will kill everybody in the first 30 seconds. Like, I don't know how the hell I'm going to be able to consistently beat this one. Like, it's not too bad after the first 30 seconds, but so much can happen in the first 30 seconds. You know, you got 4 cyber demons rocketing you at any moment. That's what killed me my previous attempt. Yeah, see what I mean? Fucking random cyber rocket, and then suddenly I'm nearly dead. Already. There's just so much chaos going on. Yeah, you probably could do stuff with one Revenant, I guess. If that's what you wanted to go for, sure. And obviously you gotta be careful of the corner with the arch valves in it. It's a bit of a pain. And hopefully the cyber demons are weakened by the It seems like the cybers die a lot to the infighting that takes place, so they eventually just die off and stop being a threat, so you're good, you know. Like, although this is really difficult at the beginning, I still stand that once you get through the first minute, the fight is not too hard. But getting through that first minute is not an easy ask. You know, cleanup after that is pretty easy. But doing it in a quick time might be a bit more challenging. I guess that's where I have the advantage. I know where all the secrets are, so then deal with these fucking rivals. Nice. Hey, Redbeard. Did you hear about what I found on YouTube? What did you find on YouTube, Redbeard? Someone made a working summoner for me. Oh boy. And pain elementals. Yeah. Have fun with clearing these guys out. Bit of a pain. At least ammo's not a problem with this map. Plenty of ammo. We'll not be running out of ammo for this level. Or health, really. A working summoner... I thought, were summoners not an enemy, but they were there anyway? Redbeard? I thought the summoner was like a standard enemy in 2016. Are you saying that it wasn't? Huh, that's a bit surprising then, honestly. I thought it would have been. You know? Not for Snapback. Okay, fair enough. Okay, final surprise. Wow, that was really dumb of me. Oh god, I fucked that up so bad. Hey! World Misfit? Oh boy. Yeah, there's a reason I'm playing this. Here's the reason. It's my pick for the Ironman League this month. There you go. All enemies killed. There's a BFG in here if you need it. Got a teleporter that allows you to go back to the previous area if you've missed anything. Oh yeah, I have chosen this as my pick for June. I'm putting Firebox to the ultimate test. Now, I've actually killed everything before I've even neared the BFG, but there's an option if you want to quickly get the boxes and clear up a lot quicker. I'll be curious to see, among those who figure out this map pretty well, what will be quicker. Killing everything with the rockets, or rushing to the exit to get the BFG to clear up even quicker. It will be a curiosity, to say the least. So yeah, that's Firebox. There's your little preview if you need it. And we now go back to fitting to the screen. Yoink. So, should be fun. And you got to use your picture. Modified picture of the Fred Misfit. So the V is there for all to see. It's still a fun map. I really enjoy playing Firebox. It's fun. It's difficult, but it's a fun map. I think... And hopefully it will do well for Iron Man. We will see over the course of the month. So, yeah. You're working on making never-before-seen code for Snap Map. I mean, ammo capacity increase between system runs on a time. The more you kill the RAM and get every time it expires, you lose capacity. Okay, that's interesting, Redbeard. Didn't know you were working on stuff for 2016. So, yeah. Go to look all Iron Man contestants for June. I look forward to seeing your demos and streams and cursing me a lot. I can't wait to see Mutt's playthrough. It's going to be great. I want to save him a really hard time as well. Like, can I kill everything in like 10 minutes? Ah, fair enough. Yeah. I wanted to squeeze this. I was tempted to do this stream tonight, but I want to do it. I thought I'd do it now, and then tonight I can get started on Zero Escape. You know, because I have to do that while Drowkin's around, and I can't do that during the midday. So fuck it. I'll do this now because it's going to be one of the shorter sweet states, and then I'll do the start of the Zero Escape tonight. You know, I feel kind of doomy today. I kind of want to take your map and fancy it up with some details and GZs and stuff while keeping the combat intact. Well, you know, if you want to, well, you've got the Ironman League thread to download the original from if you want. There were a few people who were invested a small interest in doing stuff with Firebox. I think someone wanted to make a sequel, someone else wanted to do something else. I don't know if any of those ideas came to fruition. But I kind of really like what I created in terms of the combat for Firebox, you know. I know visually it's not a very great map compared to some others. It's a bit basic, it's very simple in some aspects, but I really like the gameplay that I came up with. And the fact that no one really complained about the difficulty during the playtest sessions, other than Pineapple, who said it was too difficult when there are difficulty settings. You know, I accidentally made something quite slaughtery, but it's not ridiculous slaughtery. You know, it's fun enough. And that's the kind of thing I want to do for the next map, although I really don't want to make another big one. Next time it will be smaller. I want to do something like what Rook does with Sucker Punch 2. That's the kind of map I'd like to make. Something that's got a cool gimmick, there's some well-planned encounters, it's nice and short, and it's fun. I'd like to do something like that next time. It's easy there, Dubs. Yeah, it just accidentally became Slaughter. It was like, oh, I'll do one fight that's based on Slaughter, then I'll make a big finale. I want a big, massive finale. And then it just turned into, oops, I made a Slaughter map by accident. Oh, well, what can you do? Enjoy, fuckers. And now I'm going to submit a bunch of people to it again. I am looking forward to this month. Don't you hate it when that happens? Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? So, yeah, I mean, you can watch all my, you know, I've worked, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Hit before Mutt still wins. It's a difficult map. I will have to practice it. I mean, Because of the stipulation, you have to kill everything as well. You can't just exit the map quickly. You have to kill as many percentage of the level as possible. I'm gonna have to practice my own fights until I can get a consistent. I mean, I know the strategy for beating it. It's just pulling it off in a one session. I mean, I know the strategies for the big fights. I just have to do them. They're not easy to pull off consistently. You can fuck up to a Cyber Demon rocket while you're busy being flagged by everything. The lost soul in the corner. It wouldn't count for PR boom users though. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the code with a whole bunch of pointless detail. Well, we shall see what happens. Anyway, moving on from Uncle Bo stuff. I suppose I will just reiterate that my playthrough of Danganronpa V3 has finished on Dope Lives. What do you think of the chainsaw system? What, the 2016 chainsaw system? Or the Eternal one? It's a chance for extra ammo. On completing a wave. In before, I somehow get chosen to do an Iron Man and make everyone a furious E1 of 2. Well, I don't think a mod has actually ever been picked for Iron Man before. I was contemplating also doing a mod as well. I was thinking of having a modded run because that would have been interesting. I'm not sure what mod I'd have picked, but I was thinking maybe a mod playthrough of something would be an interesting quirk. Perhaps. But I went for Firebox. Iron Man with Hideous Destructor. I want to see people suffer. People have played World Orifice. They've already suffered. But it's hard to his guys being a lot more threatening and anyone really uses them. Well, if people have had to endure World Orifice, miasma, and criticality this year, I'm sure they don't mind playing Aetherius. But you'd have to get onto the Iron Man Discussions Discord, Misfit. So, yeah. Anyway, I have finished Danganronpa V3 on Dope Lives a few days ago with its disappointing ending, which means that I will now be back to focusing on my channel solely for quite some time. There will be some future projects on the Dope Lives, but the next one I have in mind I don't have to rush with. So the next sort of thing I might be doing on there will be in October for the Halloween season, so it'll be a while. So I'll be back to now just doing my own stuff. There won't be any side diversions on the Dope Lives channel for a bit during my normal streaming. Might stream map coding against Wild Trial now. Okay, cool. Sounds fun, Redbeard. So yeah, I'll be cracking on with my own stuff, and I'm very keen to get some stuff done before the summer period if possible. I am hoping to get at least another 2 other game projects done before the end of before summer starts. So I'm in prime position for playing Final Fantasy IX in the summer if everything goes well. So, Sweet, honest question. Should I start considering getting some prep for Dragon Quest Hero 2 co-ops? Yes, I think you should, to be honest, because I guess I'll mention this now. My current intention for the next other games is I'm going to play the Zero Escape series for the next 2, in between some other stuff I'll be talking about in a minute. After I've beaten that, I then intend to play Dragon Quest Heroes 2 as the next other game project following on from Zero Escape. So, yeah, I'd start getting some practice in, but keep in mind that it'll be a while before I finish the Zero Escape series. Hey, Wen, how you doing? It won't be. It will probably be at least. I mean, unless I get really lucky with timing, I think the best case scenario for starting Dragon Quest Heroes 2 will probably be at the end of the month if I really buckle my fuckle and get on with them and don't have too many breaks, sort of thing. But yeah, click that. Click it. Click. I mean, the estimated time to beat for the games is somewhere between... yeah, buckle my fuckle. Yeah. I've heard that expression first somewhere. The time to beat for all games predicts for I think this counts for both games in the duology. Somewhere between 31 to 49 hours. And I think the first game is shorter than the second, so... my plan is basically to beat the first game in the next few days, conveniently going into an event that's happening next week. After that's over, then play the second game in the series, and then after that, move on to Dragon Quest Heroes 2. And finish that before summer starts, so I'm then in prime position for beginning Final Fantasy IX. Glad to hear you're doing fine, Wen. So yeah, if you are, I would start getting a little practice in, because I do intend to play it quite soon. Because I'm running out of other games to play, is the thing. Ones that I can currently play at the moment with complete confidence, that is. You know, as I've said before, the only games I can actually play at the moment based on all the criteria that currently is presented before me is The Letter, Zero Escape, Dragon Quest Heroes, and Final Fantasy IX. If I can get 2 of those done before the summer, and then play Final Fantasy IX in the summer period, that will just leave The Letter remaining of the current list, and then hopefully there'll be some developments on the other games front, and I can play those. I'm still aiming, ambitiously, to have the entire other game list finished by the end of the year. I can't play Sin because you want me to wait for a remake. I can't play Saints Row 2 because I want to see if a unfortunate, dying, cancer-ridden creator is going to create a patch or not. So I can't start the Saints Row series until that develops. I can't play Wrath of Maximum Action because they're not released 1.0 yet. So, there's, there may come a point where I can't play any other games for a while and I'll just be doing a shitload of Doom stuff, which will be good. But it will mean having to wait. Yeah, Sin. Yeah. So we're getting close. We're getting close. And if I'm really lucky, everything gets done by the end of the year. And then going into 2022, oh boy, I can have some real fun. I'll have a new plan in place. But we'll discuss that when we get closer to the time. There's a lot of games to be played before then. A lot of in-depth games too. So, since there's no Dope Whips related distractions for a bit, expect a few more streams to crop up now. No fun allowed till 2022. Yeah, there'll be fun allowed. I'm just saying the real fun starts when I have to, decide on a plan for the future. And thanks for 25 bits, Lord Misfit. There's going to be plenty of Doom stuff being played too, keep in mind. I got Carnage Galore to play next. I've got another project I'm going to play that's not on the list that recently released to play next. Oh, you want to talk about that? What else is there to say? In the last 2 days, in the last 2 evening streams, I have received an anonymous cheerer for 5,000 bits, or $50 a pop. And that's it. That's all I can really say. I haven't learned anything else. I don't know how you'd learn anything like that. The whole idea of doing it anonymously is to do it anonymously, and whoever it is, they or whoever, have chosen to do that. I know it's not you, Lord Misfit, because you would donate on your account like you have been doing for a while. I have no idea who it would be. I don't have a clue, honestly. I have one suspicion, and it's probably not that person. I'm not going to ask. The anonymous person will just remain anonymous. It's their choice. I appreciate their support, regardless of who it is. I know. For all we know, it could just be a long-term anonymous lurker who doesn't want their name on the screen, I guess. It's the way it is. I'm not bothered. But I don't think you can put a message on non-donations. No, I don't think you can. I think you just give it, and then that's it. You're good. But either way, I've made $100 in 2 days. That's pretty good. That guarantees a payout for this month. So, yeah, if it is through PayPal, I'd be able to acquire, unless they use a different account like I do. I would have to add some details. But that's why I use another account. The account that you donate to is my account, but it's not my actual account. It's an account I use specifically for donations. I then transfer that to my actual account. So I was smart enough to actually do that. I admit I've donated to stuff with choky names before. Yeah, stuff relevant to their streaming history. Yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty good. And hopefully I'll be able to provide a lot more streams on this channel now that I've got rid of the Danganronpa distraction. And have nothing else to really do on Dope with for a little bit. But I do have something else that is coming up quite soon. There's actually 2 things coming up that are going to affect my streaming times for possibly the next few weeks. Yeah, I played Ultra Despair Girls in, I think it was last year actually, I played Ultra Despair Girls. So I have played the entire series. And it's because it's by the same developers is why I'm looking forward to Zero Escape, although it's supposed to be a very different game. So there are 2 things coming up later this month, in about a week and a half's time, that are going to change a few streaming things. The first one is, of course, E3, which starts on June the 12th. Now, you might remember that last year, I did actually stream the PC Gamer Show on this channel, which led me to discovering the excellent game In Sound Mind, which led to a really cool stream where 3 of the developers were in the chat and watched me play, which is pretty nice. But otherwise, it was the E3 season, and I do like to watch the E3 conferences, providing that I can actually stay awake for them, because they're usually at stupid times, and I'm not going to stay up till 2 in the morning to watch a conference when I have work. It wasn't a problem last year because I had no job, but this year, ooh boy, I won't be able to watch anything late because I'll have to get up in the morning. But the conferences start on a weekend, so I might be able to catch 1 or 2 of them. So I'm not sure if I will do any streams of it this time, but I will be trying to watch a few of them. If the times of the conferences are like really late, it won't affect my streaming time. I mean, the conferences, the main ones anyway, that are planned, they start on the 12th. So the only nights I'd be able to stay up ridiculously late to watch any E3 conference, and I'm talking about stuff that's going past midnight. You know, if it's like 1 in the morning, here's a conference, like, nah, I can't do that. I gotta get up and work, sadly, you know. So the only nights I'd be able to actually stay up and watch these conferences would be the Friday, the day before, and the Saturday itself. And anything else is just, is it early enough? But I will be watching them. If I'm not streaming them, I will be watching them. So there'll be a bit of disruption around that time due to that. And I might stream one of them here. I might also stream one of them on Dope Lives, depending. Because we usually like to do it over there too. And it will be a comfy snarkathon. Yeah, that's why I look forward to it. I don't think E3 is any good. I just want to see all the dumb bullshit they throw out. Be hilarious. So my notes basically state you might expect a couple of streams in both places here and on Dope Waves, but it depends on the time. because I can't really stay up late when I have to work in the morning. So that is the first distraction. The second one, the second event that is also coming up, but also starts at a similar time, although it's on June the 11th, on the Friday, is Euro 2020 football season. The big football tournament where England will hopefully win something. And that starts on a Friday night with Turkey versus Italy. And England will be playing games, and those games do take place in evening slots, I think. If I sort of I've not actually looked at the schedule, to be honest. I need to have a look at this. I'm going to do it right now. And have a look at the match schedules. Go away, cookies. No, I don't want the cookies. Fuck off. No, I want times. God damn it. Central European time. Okay, let's pause. Thank you. Yeah, so all these are an hour later, so we'll go off that. So, like, a lot of the games are taking place at, like, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 8 o'clock my time. So if there's any games I want to watch, they will be cutting into my... no, it's not called Euro 2021. They're still calling it Euro 2020 for some reason, because it was originally meant to be last year. I don't know why they're calling it Euro 2020 when it's 2021, but whatever. It's their tournament. So I'm just looking for the fixture list now. Obviously, there's the opening game, which I will watch, but that's Friday night, and I don't usually stream it anyway, so that's not a problem. Saturday, Saturday should be okay. There's no, I mean, there are games on, but there's nothing that I particularly want to watch on Saturday. That would be a disruption, I don't think. Sunday, now Sunday England play, but they play at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so that should be fine for Sunday. Shouldn't be an issue. Monday, that means I'm gonna miss games at work, because like one of the games kicks off at 2, so I have to come back from work to listen to them. That's not a problem. Ooh, it's a big game on Tuesday night. Might have to... Big game on Tuesday night, on the 15th. I might have to watch that. France against Germany should be fun. That's in the group of death. Group F. 3 former champions in it. You're going to get wrecked. Wednesday... Nope, nothing in there particularly that should disrupt. Thursday should be fine. Oh boy. And then England versus Scotland on a Friday evening. I'm definitely going out for that. And then Saturday, Portugal against Germany. Might watch that. On the Saturday. Okay, so there might not actually be that much disruption. There's a lot of nights when there's games on that I can watch highlights of. But, you know, it's going to happen. And there might be some games I might want to watch some nights. So there might be a little disruption, but I don't intend it to be too many nights, really, because obviously I have to work in the morning. So, you know. But it shouldn't really be that much of a disruption, actually, at least for the group stage. And then depending on how well England get through, it might be different after that point, of course. I mean, when would England's group game be? Possibly. Okay, Tuesday the 22nd of June, there's a game on at 8 o'clock. I'll have to watch that one, so that Tuesday will be off. And you've got the winners of Group D, which will be Oh, Monday or Tuesday. Oof. Might be some disruption on that Monday and Tuesday then. That'll be 5 and 7. And then Friday. And then you've got the semi-finals on the Wednesday and the Friday. Okay, so it's not as bad as I thought, actually. So there might be like a few days if there's an England game on or a big high-profile match. But otherwise, a lot of my normal streaming nights will be available. I should be able to crack on. But I'm just saying, there'll be a couple of nights when I'll be like, sorry, football game's on. I need to watch this. So, just letting you all know. It's going to be Spain, but the S is silent. Pain. Yeah. Those are the big two disruptions that are coming up for this month. E3 for a few days, which will probably won't be that big a deal because, my job, can't really stay up to watch a lot of them. And Euro 2020, which will be a bigger deal and last for a month. But shouldn't be that disruptive for streams and shit. But it should be a lot of fun. So, that's all the points I wanted to cover for this sweet state. And at this point, I throw open the floor to any questions from the audience. And you have about 20 minutes to get them in. Because as I said, I do have things to do today. So I'm a bit busier than usual. And again, there will be a stream tonight. So there's that. So have you got any questions for me? Anything you want to ask? Now is the time. So, sweet. How do you type with fireboxes on? Very simple. Type, type, type. It's very hot and boxy. That's how I do it. Are there any actual questions? Just a camera there. Would you like to test map 4 in a few weeks? Test map 4. Ooh. Is this a test for I Have No Idea the sequel? And the answer would be yes, I would. I mean, I do have a playtest stream to do for this month, obviously. I would love to test your next thing, of course. Definitely would love to test that. And that just reminds me, actually, of a point that Goofy made for last month. Goofy proposed the idea of a co-op playtest stream, and I will think about that for this month. Maybe I'll arrange something, maybe I won't. But I haven't forgot. But I haven't forgot about the idea. Is the thing. I haven't forgot about the idea of. I'm just making a quick note for myself there. It's pretty much done at this point. He just has to finish up some guns. Ooh, nice. I look forward to seeing that, Kraja. But yeah, I might consider doing the co-op play test at some point. We'll see how it goes. So, are there any other questions from anyone in the chat right now? Anyone in the 9-person strong chat? Not a lot of people today, but to be fair, it is the day after bank holiday. Everyone's probably back at work. Not my normal streaming time either, but, as I said, there's not as much to talk about in this sweet state, so I just wanted to kind of get it done, and then it's sorted. When is the next Doom playtesting stream? I'm not sure when it will be. It will be at some point this month. I don't really give any sort of solid dates for it. I would need to acquire a new set of WODs to play test, and I'd have to pick a good time. I'll have to see. When. Right now, my priority is to get Zero Escape's first game done. Maybe if I get that done pretty quickly, I might do a playtest stream later this week or start of next week or something like that. But it will be at some point in the month. But I can't give you an exact sort of day. Sorry. It'll all depend on how the other streaming things go. But there will be a playtest stream at some point, don't you worry. Yeah. Sun's dipped off a bit outside. So, are there any other questions from anyone? Any at all? What's this other folder that's open? Oh, right, it's my Firebox text document. Oh, man. Sorry, nothing immediate. Okay. I already asked my big one on earlier in the Dragon Quest Heroes too. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. How's the weather? The weather is nice and warm. It's a little cloudier today than it has been, but it's still quite warm out there. I am going to be going to sweat it out at the gym after this. That's why I got my gym t-shirt on today. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. No complaints. And it's going to be like good weather for the rest of the week, I think, for the rest of the bank holiday. So hopefully I'll get a bit of time in the sun before I go back to work next week. How's my nephew been? My nephew's been doing okay. Still plodding along nicely. They are starting to walk-ish. Well, I won't say walk. It's more like they seem to have a preference for wanting to stand up rather than crawl. It feels like they want to skip a step and just go straight to the standing up bit at the moment. But they're doing fantastic. They're doing very well, my nephew. I could have actually had an opportunity to go and see my sister and my nephew this week, bank holiday week, but I've decided not to take it. Because with all the uncertainty that's going on with this Indian variant, I don't want to suddenly go. I don't want to go down there and some weird shit happen, and I end up being unable to return back home afterwards and get stuck in the south. So, I'm not gonna go down and see my sister and nephew until this restrictions are gone completely, which will be in the summer, and I can just go down normally and see them, and it'll be much nicer. You know, I won't have to worry about social distancing or mask wearing or anything. I can just go and say, hi, I'm here. How's things? How's my nephew? Because my mum's going to go down and see them again later this week, so we'll have the house to myself for a weekend again. So there might be an extra stream or two during that. We'll see how it goes. But I want to wait until all the restrictions are gone to see them for the first time in person. And she might be coming up here anyway at some point, so I might get the opportunity without having to go down. But in general, he's doing fine. He's doing great. He's doing good. You know, it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. Any other questions? Because I also have to cook some tea as well. The first thing I'm going to do is put my tea on, get that started, and then I'm going to get ready to hit the gym as soon as it's finished, so should be good. And your second coffee because you're up too early. You're up too early. Okay, I guess that's it for the questions, I suppose. You have coffee twice. Oh, you're a caffeine junkie. My mum drinks coffee a few times a day too. I don't bother anymore. Oh, not like he once was. Yeah, I mean, I used to drink tea, but I actually don't even like that anymore. You know, I think it's because of a previous job of mine. I used to drink tea like twice a day or something because it was just part of what we did to kill the time. And I didn't used to mind tea. Tea was okay. But I tried to have some in a few months ago, and it's like, horrible. Can't stand it anymore. So I don't even have that anymore. Now I just have, it's like water. If I do have anything else, it's usually flavored water or zero sugar stuff. I definitely keep away from that kind of stuff, and I've not regretted it since, you know. considering I used to drink Lucasades and have 1 or 2 Red Bulls, I feel kind of good that I no longer bother with it. I feel a lot better for it. But to each their own. Right, well, I think I will use this to draw this sweet state to a close. One more time again, the Ironman League for this month is my own map. It should be, in case you're just tuning in at the end. Feel free to play along. I will be, of course, doing the Iron Eagle as well whenever that is released, whenever Pegway releases that 32nd edition later this today or whenever. I will be doing a stream tonight. I will be playing the first game in the Zero Escape series as gifted and by Drauken. It's supposedly quite a tricky puzzle game by the creators of Danganronpa, so I'm told I will need an actual paper and pen for this game because there are some real devious puzzles in it apparently that I'll need to take notes of. Or in this case, a notepad document, which will act as the same thing. So I'll be starting that playthrough tonight. So hopefully it will be fun. Fingers crossed. Anyway, thank you all for watching this sweet state, and stay safe out there and have a good day. Goodbye for now.